Well, here it is, my first questions and answers video. Thank you guys so much for all the submissions. I got lots of great questions, and in fact, I think there's too many questions to fit into one video, so I'm gonna break it down into two parts so it's not too long. This is part one. So before we get going, I just want to say I'm going to do my very best to pronounce everybody's names and handles correctly, and if I don't get them quite right, I apologize for that in advance. But yeah, let's go on to the questions. Okay, Hamid19821 asks, shouldn't we be more active about following up with Canadian drone laws? Any forum or other communication page for us? Yeah, to answer that, absolutely. I think if the drone community wants better drone laws, then the drone community needs to get active and lobby government and be involved in the decision making. Here in Canada right now, we have pretty restrictive drone laws. Those laws are being amended this summer, so I'm curious to see what's going to happen. But yeah, you're absolutely right. If we want better laws, then we better get active. As far as your question, do I know of any pages or communications forums? I don't off the top of my head, but I'm pretty sure a Google search would probably turn up some stuff. But yes, thanks for your question. Cardoso asks, when editing your drone videos, which export settings do you prefer for your DJI Spark footage? Keep it at 29.976 frames per second or slow it down to 25, 24, or 23.976 frames per second. Well, I use Final Cut Pro 10 for my video editing, and originally I was editing my Spark footage on a 30 frames per second timeline, and I recently went to 29.976 because I just found the 30 frames per second was like a bit flickery, if you know what I mean. So I'm liking the 29.976 much better. I have experimented with the slower frame rates, the 25s and 24s and 23.97s, but I really haven't got results that I'm happy with, so for now I'm sticking with 29.976. And thanks for your question. Okay, next one, John O'Brien asks, how are you finding the Canon A D up to now and what lenses are you using? And he's thinking of adding this to his arsenal as he is currently using a Canon G7X Mark II. Well, to answer your question, I absolutely love my ADD. The dual pixel autofocus system is just amazing. I've never had a Canon camera focus that accurately and that quickly, and I love it. I love having the articulating screen, so me being a one-man army out there most of the time, it's great to have that screen so I can compose my shots, focus them, change my settings. Like, awesome. I love that camera. Very pleased with my purchase. And the lens I'm using with that camera is the same lens I'm using right now, and that's my Canon 1740 f4.0L lens. It's just a terrific lens, wide lens, love it. All right, and as expected, I got a lot of questions on whether or not I am upgrading from my DJI Spark. So I'm gonna read all those questions and then I'm gonna answer them in kind of one big group answer here. So just for fun, Kona, he asks, hi Steve, question for you, are you gonna go for it and buy the Mavic Air? Jackson Boyle, are you thinking of upgrading from your DJI Spark? And Jagoda 15, if you are considering buying DJI Mavic Pro or Air. And he says, P.S. sorry, but my English isn't very good because I'm from Poland. I think your English is just fine, and thanks for visiting from Poland. And Alan C, first off, I love all your cinematography videos, very nicely done. I know Mark Garneau is making it harder for everyone here in Canada, but I especially like the video shot with UAV. And lastly, is your wife getting Sparky? Are you upgrading? Well, thanks guys, thanks for all those questions. Specifically to Alan C, he talked about Mark Garneau, and Mark Garneau is the transport minister here in Canada. He's the guy who sets the drone laws. Canadian drone laws are pretty tough, so I'm really restricted where I can fly. I'm quite jealous of all my friends down in the United States who can fly. Man, it seems like they can fly anywhere. I wish I could do some of that stuff, but we can't. Hopefully that's gonna change soon. But to answer your guys' questions, am I upgrading my Spark? Well, the answer right now is no. I am sticking with my Spark. I haven't even had my Spark a year. I still feel like I have lots to learn. I'm really enjoying flying it. I don't do any 4K right now, so 1080p is just fine. I mean, the Mavic Air is really compelling. It's got some great features, you know, the 3-axis gimbal right away just, I mean, come on, right? Awesome. But for now, I'm just gonna stick with my Spark. I mean, that could change next week, that could change next month, but I really like to get the most out of my equipment before kind of going up to the next level. So yeah, for now guys, it's gonna be Spark. Oh, and specifically for Alan C, if I do upgrade from my Spark to a Mavic Air or something like that, I think definitely Jen is gonna get Sparky. Jason Fang asks, hi Steve, thanks for a great channel. I love the authenticity and cool shots and ideas. Well, thank you. I would love to know more about your editing thought process. How do you choose which shots to keep, trim, or cut? Thanks. Well, thanks for watching and thanks for the question. So when it comes to drone footage, when I get back home and I'm looking through my footage, it has to evoke some kind of emotional response to me when I'm looking at it. So when I'm going through the clips, if I'm not going, oh wow, I mean that's really cool, then it's gone. Like I cut it. In general, when I'm putting together a series of clips of drone footage, I like to keep it short. No one wants to see you flying over a farmer's field for 10 minutes. Like, nobody's gonna watch that. So I'm always thinking, highlight reel in mind, just very short 5 or 10 second clips of just the best stuff that I've captured from a particular area. And if the footage, if it doesn't complement the story or what I'm trying to get across, then yeah, it's just gone. So a lot of my stuff ends up in the trash, but hey, you know what? We're all learning here. You're gonna take a lot of bad shots to get to the really good ones. But yeah, thanks for the question. True Chad Martin writes, I also live in Calgary. In this minus 25 degree weather, is it possible to fly Spark outside? I got mine just over a week ago, but haven't flown it because of our ice age weather. And yeah, I totally agree. We have had just the worst winter in as long as I can remember. But yes, to answer your question, flying in minus 25 is possible. I have done it. Other people have done it. You have to take some pretty good precautions there. You want to keep your drone warm before and in between flights. And if you're moving from a really cold area into a warm, moist environment, I would suggest you put your drone in a sealable bag, airtight bag, and then when you bring it into the warm, moist environment, let it come up to room temperature before taking it out of that bag, because you don't want any condensation to form on the internal electronics. So you want to be really cautious there. Yes, you can do it, but yeah, I don't know. I mean, is it worth it? It's like so unpleasant out there. It's like, I don't even want to do it. But yes, thanks for your question. Hope I'm going to say this right. Sync BME. They ask, hey, great videos. Are you going to switch to the Mavic Air? And what suggestions would you give to a person just starting a YouTube channel? Well, switching to the Mavic Air, no, not at this time. Suggestions for a new YouTuber? I think I would just say, put all the expectations aside. Don't worry about the money, don't worry about the views, don't worry about the subscribers. Just create. Commit to creating a certain number of videos over a certain time frame. So maybe you're gonna commit 1 video a week for 6 months or a year. Maybe it's gonna be 2 videos a month for 3 months. But just commit to making a certain number of videos and just commit to just the act of creation and see how it goes and take it from there. I think it'll become very apparent as you start really committing to the task of uploading YouTube videos, whether or not you want to pursue it and what needs to happen to make your channel successful. Comm FX writes, congrats Steve, I originally found your videos because of the Spark, but have enjoyed all the other aspects as well. Here are some random questions for you. Do you use LUTs for your drone footage? If so, what is your favorite? What is your career background? What's the story of how you got into vlogging? And what do your friends and family think of your vlogging? Well, thanks. That's a lot of great questions packed into one there. I'm gonna have to keep my notes here, otherwise I'll forget some of what you asked. So, do I use LUTs? Well, my very last video, I actually applied a LUT. I use a package, a plugin for Final Cut Pro called Color Finale Pro. I'm still learning all the ins and outs of that. I applied a a LUT to my last video, and I dialed the opacity back to 28%. So I really kind of just tested the waters there. And that was the first time I actually used a LUT in any of my videos. So do I use LUTs? Yes, I did. But historically, I have not used any. Career background. Well, I was an IT guy for a long time. I did Oracle database work and Linux and Unix administration. So yeah, I have a very strong technical background. And coming to do the YouTube videos and the photography, you really have to kind of unlearn being so technical, which is hard, and just be more creative. So that's been the hardest thing coming from, you know, a very technical background. So what's the story of how you got into vlogging? Well, I've always wanted to do videos. I've always wanted to get better at making videos. And a friend of mine, he started a YouTube channel back in, I think May of last year. And I'm like, wow, geez, if he can do it, I can do it. So he was kind of my little nudge in the direction to start a YouTube channel. And yeah, that's why I'm here. And the final one was, what do your friends and family think of your vlogging? Well, my wife Jen is super supportive. She's all over. She helps out a lot of times. She's in the videos and she's very supportive. I think it's kind of a mix. I think my family's very supportive. Half my friends think I'm nuts. You got a YouTube channel? Like what are you 12? But the other half think it's just fantastic. But you know what? I really don't care. I love being creative, and I love sharing with all you guys. So yeah, here I am, just gonna keep doing it. Marvelous Marv writes, good day, sir. I am fairly new to the YouTubing world. I've watched several of your videos and have been motivated to produce even more content, even though the videos I've posted don't receive many views, likes, or subscribers as a result. Can you please provide any advice as to what may be the issue? I'm not in it for the money, but it would be nice to know that the content I'm creating is enjoyable. Please advise. Well, thanks very much for the question, Marv. That's a really big question. I'm not sure I'm 100% qualified to answer that because I'm pretty much a beginning YouTuber as well. But I will just sort of tell you about my experience, tell you what I've kind of done, and maybe you'll find some nuggets of knowledge in there. So anyhow, I started my YouTube channel about 8 months ago. It was just a simple idea. I just wanted to get better at making videos, so I committed to uploading one video per week for a year, and then after that I would sort of evaluate and just see if I wanted to continue or not. And yeah, in the beginning, absolutely, it's frustrating. Nobody wants to watch your videos, nobody wants to subscribe, and yeah, it can be kind of tough. You're just kind of slogging away and no one cares, right? But I really tried to push those expectations aside. Don't worry about views, don't worry about subscribers, certainly don't worry about money, just create, like focus on creation. And I really tried to improve with every video. You know, it may be subtle and sometimes maybe I don't improve at all, but I tried to make the quality better, some kind of improvement with each video. I also read very early on that you kind of strike up a bargain with your viewer. You want to entertain them or you want to educate them. So I think about that. I have that in mind with every video. I want to teach people something new, or I want to be entertaining. And do I always succeed on both or either? No, but that's my intention. I've also spent a lot of time looking at other people's YouTube channels, like successful ones. I mean, yes, there's the Casey Neistats and the Peter McKinnons and all those really big important guys, but I also look at, you know, a couple layers above me and just see how those people are successful. What are they doing to promote and grow their channel? And I try to emulate that stuff. So I spend a lot of time looking at other people's videos, subscribing to other people's channels, commenting, and learning as much as I can. I think YouTube is a pretty collaborative community. There's you know, enough here for everyone, and I found people to be very helpful. So yeah, I mean, basically that's all I've been doing. So I'm just plugging away. I'm committing to my one video a week, committing to my timeline, committing to improving my quality, and so far it seems to be working. But yeah, I agree, there have been very frustrating moments. I've had some videos where no one, you know, I've put in amazing, crazy amounts of hours and I get no views, like no one really cares. And yeah, hard work does not equal views. So yeah, I mean, we've all been there, we're all going through it. I would just suggest, you know, just focus on the creation, keep experimenting, keep playing, keep having a good time, and yeah, you're gonna get there. Well, there you go, guys. I hope that answered your questions, and if your question didn't get answered in this video, stay tuned for part 2. That's coming up really quick. And as always, thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you next time.